West.
And it reads, "At this time, I know that they were all Christians. I couldn't be sure of that in the future as the children grew up." Another note was to the sister of his 84-year-old mother, who was also killed in the house. He wrote in part, "To save Mother untold anguish over that result, I felt it best that she be relieved from this veil of tears."
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Lavender here, and today I want to talk about the John Emil List case. So yeah, let's get started on this true crime video. September 17, 1925 through March 21st, 2008. That's when John List was born, and that's when John List died. So what makes John Emil List so popular is that he was just to give a short description of the crime, on November 9, 1971, List killed his wife, his mother, and 3 children at their home in Westfield, New Jersey, then disappeared for 18 years. He had planned the murder so well that it took nearly a month before anyone noticed that anything was up and that the family was dead. And this case was actually really famous. It was in a 1996 Forensic Files episode, and it discussed the List murders. So, a background on John List is that John List was born in Bay City, Michigan. List was the only child of German-American parents. Like his father, List was a devout Lutheran. In November 1950, as the Korean War escalated, List was called to active military service. In Virginia, he met Helen Morris Taylor, and they later married on December 1st, 1951 in Baltimore, Maryland. On November 9th, 1971, List murdered his entire family using a semi-automatic handgun and his father's Colt .22 caliber revolver. While his children were at school, he shot his wife, Helen, in the back of the head, and then his mother, Alma, above the left eye. As his daughter, Patricia, and younger son, Frederick, arrived home from school, List shot each of them in the back of the head. And his last son, and the oldest son, John Jr., List shot him repeatedly because, as a misfired evidence showed, his son attempted to defend himself against his father, and he was shot multiple times. List placed all the bodies, besides his mother's body, on sleeping bags in the mansion's ballroom. He left his mother's body in the apartment area in the house that was hers, in the attic. In a 5-page letter to his pastor found on the desk in his study, List claimed that he saw too much evil in the world. He didn't really agree with his family's lifestyles. His daughter wanted to be an actress, and he didn't agree with that because he's a religious man. And he said he killed his family to save their souls. He then cleaned the crime scenes, removed his own picture from the wall in the house, turned on a radio to a religious station, and then left the mansion. The murders were not discovered until December 7th, nearly a month later, due to in part the family's reclusive ways and tendencies. Neighbors noticed that all the mansion rooms were illuminated with no apparent activity within the house at all. They later called the police. John List settled in Denver in early 1972 after fleeing the crime scene and took an accountant job as Robert Peter Bob Clark. He went by Bob. He joined a Lutheran congregation and ran a religious Lutheran carpool shuttle. He met a woman named Dolores Miller and married her in 1985. In February 1988, the couple moved to Midlothian, Virginia, where List, still using the name Bob Clark, resumed work as an accountant. On May 1989, the 18-year-old crime was recounted on the Fox television program America's Most Wanted. The segment featured an age-progressed clay bust sculptured by forensic artist Frank Bender. It bared a close resemblance to List's actual appearance. On June 1st, less than 2 weeks after the broadcast, List was arrested at a Richmond accounting firm after a Denver neighbor that lived next to him recognized him on the America's Most Wanted show and decided to alert the authorities. At trial, List testified that his financial difficulties reached crisis mode level in 1971 when he was laid off with the closure of the Jersey City Bank. To avoid sharing this humiliating development with his family, he would go out and act like he still had a job and would stay at a train station, and just read newspapers until the time when he's supposed to come home from work. A court-appointed psychiatrist testified that List suffered from obsessive-compulsive personality disorder and that he only saw two solutions to his problem: accept welfare for his family or kill his family and send their souls to heaven. And welfare was an unacceptable option for him, because that would have shown that he was a failure to his family. On April 12, 1990, List was convicted of 5 counts of first-degree murder. He denied direct responsibility for his actions, and he was sentenced to 5 terms of life imprisonment to be served consecutively in the Maxim State Prison. List later died of complications from pneumonia at age 82 on March 21st, 2008. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Bye guys, see you next video.